Hi everyone, welcome to Mindset Live. I'm Renee.
And I am John. Welcome to Mindset Live. It is great to be with everybody on this really dreary, cold New York night. I feel like it was about 100 degrees out, and now it's suddenly very, very cold out. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. We have a great guest tonight. Her name is Francesca Alfano. She is a functional dietitian and nutritionist. And she helps women by supporting their fertility, improving hormonal health, and achieving sustainable weight management. And so that is really exciting. We're going to bring her on in a second. Before we do, though, I would be remiss in not saying happy birthday or happy anniversary, my dear.
Happy anniversary. Not to us, but to Mindset.
Not to us, but to Mindset. Mindset turned 2 years old. And like any 2-year-old, we are full of energy. We are jumping, climbing, running around, making a mess. So that is like most 2-year-olds. No, really, it is a milestone. We've had some businesses that we've grown, and 2 years is always impactful. You never take for granted 24 months of really, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who sort of runs a business, it's a 24-hour thing. So it's like the 2 years is a full 2 years. I mean, it's a full, every minute of those 2 years are really enveloped within it.
It's true. But it's gone by pretty quickly.
Oh, good. Went by the blink of an eye. Now it's suddenly cold out again. So there you go.
Oh, wait. I think I see a request.
Okay, great.
Okay. Let's see. This is the exciting part.
I'm so excited.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
We're good. Everybody, this is Francesca. Francesca, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for like coming on and chatting with us. We're so happy to have you.
I am so happy to be here. Yeah, I'm excited to chat with you and introduce myself.
Yeah, so I introduced you a little bit, but tell everybody exactly who are you and what is your mindset?
Oh, that's a good question. So I am a functional dietitian nutritionist. I work with women, helping them lose weight in a sustainable way, helping to balance hormones, and also
Wait, it looks like we're buffering.
Might have lost you.
I think Mercury retrograde is returning. I thought it was over. You told me it was over.
It's a shadow phase.
Told me it was over.
It's over, but there's 2 weeks of shadow phase.
Anyway, while we're waiting, I don't know. It could be us. We could be offline.
I know.
She could be
Is it
on.
us?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Call Verizon.
Anyone watching, tell us. Is it us?
Wait, something's happening. Should we go back in, go out and in, or no? Stop.
Try that. Let's try it.
Oh, wait, something's happening. Wait,
Oh, we're just
back.
us.
It was us. We were out. Were we out? No, she's out. No,
She's
look,
out.
she's
gone.
she's gone.
All right.
Well,
Let's wait for her to get
anyway,
back
thank
on.
you, Francesca. You were fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. We would have loved to have learned more.
Wait,
but
here.
I'm kidding. Okay, the dog is taking my sweater. Come here, Minnie.
Okay.
Give me my sweater back.
All right, we'll try it again.
Okay.
hi. Okay.
Hi.
I'm hoping this works. I don't know if it's me or I saw you for a little and then it cut out.
I know. Was it us or was it you? We couldn't figure it out.
You guys were still there. Maybe it was me, but yeah. So I'm happy to reintroduce myself because I think that's where I got cut off. I am a functional dietitian nutritionist. I specialize in helping women with sustainable weight loss, doing things the right way, as well as helping to balance hormones and improve your fertility.
I love that.
That's
wow.
amazing.
Okay, let's start with where did you grow up?
I grew up in Westchester in New York, so right outside the city.
Amazing.
Very familiar.
Very familiar.
Where are you located?
We are on Long Island, but we have
We're reporting from the Mindset Cave in East Rockaway, our headquarters
Okay.
here. But in a former life, we had a business where we had stores, and we had several of them in Westchester. So I spent a lot of time in Rye Ridge and Scarsdale and all over
No
that
way.
place.
What was your store?
It was called Mixology.
Okay. I don't know if I ever went there.
Okay.
You'll be the first. And by the way, it's so nice to hear. I got to tell you.
Anyway, back to you.
Yes.
So tell us, did you go to school to be a functional nutritionist?
So I actually, initially I started school, pre-med, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to really do this. The science classes were really
Yeah.
challenging. So I ended up changing, and I got my bachelor's in marketing and advertising. And then I worked in advertising for a little bit. I didn't love it. I always felt like I wanted to be in healthcare, working like in that field. And I always felt a very strong like pull towards nutrition and wellness. And so I was always like very into it. And I went back and I got my my master's degree in functional nutrition and integrative health.
Wow.
Fantastic. And for those who don't truly understand it, me being one of them, what exactly is functional nutrition and health? What does that exactly encompass?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So, functional nutrition is really looking at things from a root cause perspective. So, for example, if you came to me and you were complaining about indigestion or you had heartburn, the typical conventional response would be like, oh, take Zantac, you'll be okay. My job is really trying to figure out what is the underlying cause of what's going on and why do you have heartburn. And maybe it's looking at things like potential food sensitivities or looking at imbalances in your gut microbiome. So maybe there are all different things that could be triggering it, and it's more so like a full body holistic approach to looking at somebody's health and then being able to serve them and help them from that perspective. So I do a lot, and I work a lot with supplements and obviously diet, but also lifestyle changes. So I'm looking at what somebody's stress is like, how they're sleeping, what their emotional state is and mindset is like. So it's a full body approach.
That's amazing. And it's amazing that this is unique, but really this should be what is practiced. I mean, this should be what is the standard, right? I mean, why would somebody not look at the totality of a problem? Why would you just try to fix a symptom? It seems so intuitive that that's how you would approach something, but it takes people like yourself to actually go and actually do it. But yeah, I mean, listen, everything is so interconnected, the mind, the body, the biome, and how we obviously our part to play with the endocannabinoid system and in balancing that. But truly it is a mind, body, food, the things that you ingest. And ingest, when I say through your mouth, through your eyes, through your ears, right? All the things that you're bringing into your body. So you are the future of what medicine is going to be like, and what health is going to be like, really.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's slowly starting to go in this direction and move in this direction, which is awesome and it's great. And I think more doctors want to learn about nutrition and incorporate people like myself into their practice or lean on to have to take advice from, which is great. Because I don't think it was like that. Even I would say a few years ago, it wasn't really like that. And it's still a challenge to get people to look at things in a different lens. But I definitely think it's the future of healthcare for sure.
100%, 100%. And from what you're saying, it's not just nutrition. It's really, you're looking at their whole lifestyle. You're looking at how the stress and the anxiety can be causing so many imbalances in everyone's system in your gut, and your gut is related to so many problems in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like everything, like our whole body is connected, and so it's really important to look at the whole picture, to look at everything that a person is dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Even like an example, like, you know, if you don't sleep well, that affects how you eat the next day. You're more likely to end up eating more, craving more salty, sugary foods because of that. So it's like this vicious cycle.
Yeah. And so much of that has to do with mindset as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a very good point. So what was your ultimate thought about, you know, in terms of how that mind-body connection affected, you know, your overall mindset when you started to make those changes in your nutrition?
Oh my God, like completely. Like you said, I wasn't getting the right sleep. I was under, a lot of situations that were causing me anxiety. Maybe even if you're on your phone too much, all of those things are causing stress in your body. And then that is causing so many imbalances. So when I changed and I started cutting things out of my lifestyle and then adding, so it's not just cutting out, it's also adding things like adding CBD to my daily routine. I mean, I woke up feeling like myself. I woke up feeling better, adding meditation, adding yoga, so it's not just taking away, it was also adding things into my lifestyle.
Yeah, totally. You have to be able to add in those things that are gonna just enhance the from and kind of not necessarily enhance, but kind of calm the nervous system. So things like CBD, getting off your phone at night, doing things like meditation or yoga. And I talk a lot about this in my method. It's really based on these 4 core principles, and one of the main principles is stress and sleep. And so, you know, that's like, if somebody is not sleeping right or they're really stressed, they're not going to achieve the goals that they want. So we'll focus on that, and that is really, really, really core to what I do.
It's amazing. Now, what would you tell somebody who's listening, they're having trouble sleeping? What are some little tricks that you could give them to just get started? What are some little things that you could help them with?
Yeah, so there's a lot that you can do, even small things that can help improve your sleep. But I would say a good starting point is I like to kind of give yourself this time to unwind. So I always explain this to my clients in a very simple way. I don't know if you have kids.
Yes.
Do you have kids? Okay, so remember
And they won't leave the house. They have jobs, they have apartments, and they all come home to visit. It's so nice.
Yeah. Well, when they were infants and babies, they had this whole, they had a nighttime routine, right? Maybe they took a bath, you read a book, the lights were dim, maybe there's a sound machine going, whatever it may be.
Sounds like one of Renee's average nights, actually.
Yeah.
It's my night. I do that now. So I've done that.
But most people are not doing this. They don't have a nighttime ritual or routine, and maybe they're on their phone scrolling all night on TikTok or Instagram, and then hopping into bed and having massive anxiety because they're staying up watching the news at all hours of the night. So we don't have this nighttime routine anymore. People kind of got away from that. So I always would recommend trying to treat yourself as you would a baby so that you can really sleep like a baby. So taking that time to wind down, getting off your screen at night, I would say a couple hours before you go to bed, just to reduce that blue light exposure. And if you cannot do that, I recommend wearing those blue light glasses to block out that blue light, which can affect your quality of your sleep. I would also say, sometimes it could be helpful to do a herbal tea before bed, like a chamomile or a passion flowers tea is nice at night. Reading at night, kind of just to calm the mind. I also would recommend maybe journaling, meditation, maybe some light yoga, and then making sure also that you're not eating very close to bedtime. So you give yourself a window of your last meal to the time you get to bed will really help improve your sleep.
Wow. I want to just make sure that everybody heard you. You said something that was really amazing. You said, treat yourself like a baby and you'll sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
That's really cool. No, that's amazing, right? That's really simple because you understand that if you were a baby, how would you treat a baby, right? You'd say, okay, put your phone down, or you hopefully wouldn't give the phone in the first place.
Yeah.
And all those good things, and we don't do that for ourselves at all, right? I mean, we run ourselves ragged till the very last second. We exhaust into bed, and then we wonder why the next day we're not feeling great.
Yeah, I know. Like totally. Like and everybody is in this boat. I mean, sometimes I have to like remind myself, oh, I shouldn't.
Hold on, we lost
Wait, we
you.
lost your.
We lost you again. Wait, you're back. You're
Am I
blinking.
still there?
Blink if you're being held
Oh,
hostage.
I'm back.
wait.
So I
You're
have
You're back.
I'll
Good to see you.
okay. I have a social media timer. So it just clicked off that I was done with my allotted time on social media. I'm sorry.
I
Oh,
love
I
that.
love
You are living it. You are living it as you breathe it. It's amazing. See, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, so it'll if you can this is a great tip for people that are just trying to like also wind down for the night on the same topic. You can set your phone to basically cut off your apps at a certain time, or you can set a limit of how many hours you can spend on social media a day, which is helpful because that also is great for your nervous system, not constantly being a victim of your phone. So yes, you can do this if you have an iPhone. It's really simple to set up.
Yeah, and that is such a challenge, I think, right now for so many people because we work off of our phones. Like we do so much, especially creators and small businesses and even large businesses. I mean, everyone is on their phones creating content. Everything's about content, and there seems to be no. We always talk about this, like time that you're off, like.
Mm-hmm.
You're always on, like there, it could be Sunday night, which used to be like sacred. And now it's like you can
Oh,
get.
yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
We're talking about how the barrier sort of, I guess it was a little bit, I guess, after the pandemic when everyone went remote. Now some people are hybrid or back. But ultimately, how you worked when you wanted to work and you rested when you wanted to rest, as long as the work was done, your employer was happy, or you as a boss was happy with your employer, your employees, and it didn't matter.
Well, it wasn't so much when you wanted to, it was when your hours were. You like
Mm-hmm.
worked, and now I
No, no, but what
feel
I'm saying is that when you had to work, when we ran an office and people would come into the office at 9 and they would
right,
clock out at 5.
right. It was the hours.
But what I'm saying to you is that now you have this ability because there was no boundaries
Right.
between the days.
Yeah.
There's no boundaries between what is a
Yeah.
Friday and what is a Monday. So you don't necessarily get the Mondays anymore, but you don't necessarily get that excitement on Fridays either. It's a different way, and you have to sort of self-regulate and create your own.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. And this is why so many people are stressed out. Honestly, there's no boundaries. There's no
Right.
boundaries with our phone. That's why I like to set actual time limits so that I'm not constantly on my phone. And also, like for productivity, you can time block when you're going to create your content or whatever. But people have so much stress and anxiety right now. Like the pandemic definitely made things worse, but and that's why CBD is so great, because it can really help to calm your nervous system and help with that anxiety in a natural way, which is also why I love it.
Yes, amazing. So wait, tell me about what mindsets do you like now that you've tried mindset?
I tried the happy, so I've only been using that one so far.
Okay,
You
great.
seem pretty happy.
Yeah, you seem
Yeah.
pretty.
Like
And when are you
It's
taking it?
working.
Are you taking it in the morning? Are you taking it?
So I'm taking it when I feel stressed, or like when I know I'm gonna have a stressful day. I've been taking it. So you can tell me if I'm doing it the right way or how you would recommend. But I that's kind of how I've been doing it. So sometimes, like if I know I'm gonna have a busy day, I'll take it in the morning. And then if it was a stressful day and I maybe have missed it in the morning, I'll take it before bed.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah. So there's no one size fits all or one way to do it. But you can take it whenever you're feeling stressed, if that's how you want to take it. Or I take it every day, first thing in the morning. I take it in the afternoon, and then I take it before bed. So I take it 3 times a day throughout the day, kind of like microdosing it. But it is
Cool.
what works for your lifestyle and what works for you. And you have to find that. That's why sometimes when people first try CBD, they really might not understand it or think it's working because they're not giving it the right amount of attention that it needs. Just like anything with a diet, well, I shouldn't say diet, but with like healthy eating. If you're going to eat one healthy meal, that's not going to change anything. You really have to continually eat healthy meals. So it's the same thing with CBD. You should continually take it, and that's how it balances your system.
Yeah. So it's the cumulative effects. Like you can't just
Well,
do it one.
yeah, I mean, listen, I think the big takeaway is that you are using it right. Number one is that you're using it as a tool in your tool belt. You're saying, I'm going to have a day that's going to, test me. I'm going to find that there's challenges in front of me. I'm going to do the things that are going to help me prepare for those challenges. And CBD is a really easy one to prepare for those challenges, right? So you're going to do that, whether it's meditation or whether it's affirmation or whether it's what you're going to eat in the morning, right? Or how much sleep you got the night before. All of those things are the tools in your tool belt that you're going to now face those challenges. So that's number one. But consistency is ultimately key so that you don't find peaks and valleys, right? Mm-hmm. So if you optimize your endocannabinoid system, which is how CBD works, right? When that anxiety is out of balance, that endocannabinoid system wants to bring it back into balance. CBD helps that system do that. If you take CBD daily, that's going to always keep your system in a nice flow of balance. And so you're going to avoid the peaks and valleys, but obviously it's a great way to also combat on a situational basis if you're feeling certainly anxiety. I'm just so happy that you're integrating it into your world, into your life. I mean, that to me is that's the win. So
yeah, definitely. I probably should be taking it every day. I have 2 toddlers that, that's stressful in itself.
It's amazing. We're so old. I would think you're like in high school.
Wait, you don't look like you have 2 toddlers.
Yes, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh my God!
Well,
that's
he's
amazing.
Not 5 yet, but he'll be 5 soon.
Yeah. Have you made him into TikToks? Have you monetized them? Have you like?
I don't think my husband really wants that, but I've tried. I'm like, oh.
Okay. So yes, I knew there was something there.
Are they both boys or?
A boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. So nice.
Yeah.
So, Francesca Alfano, I am taking a guess that you have an Italian heritage.
I do. So my grandparents came here from Italy. And so my father was 100% Italian. And then my mom is actually from Puerto Rico. So I am
that's so cool.
split. Yeah.
I love that. So Renee is basically almost 100% Italian too, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that was always been amazing is the food. And how is that as a functional dietitian? How does that work when you're around such incredible food from both sides of your family? How does that work so that, you're still enjoying that incredible wealth of taste that is available, but at the same time, you're doing it in a healthy way?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I love pasta. I love Italian food. It's honestly my favorite. I grew up mostly eating that way. So you obviously you don't want to do that every single day, but there are so many like healthier alternatives, and you can still, like, people think of Italian food as just like pasta and pizza, but there's a lot of ways to incorporate those Italian flavors in other kind of dishes and cuisine. So I actually do a lot of like a big part of what I do is culinary nutrition. So how can we create these delicious meals but kind of healthify them? And I don't want people to take this as like you have to restrict or you can't eat pasta, because I eat pasta probably on a weekly basis because it's part of our culture. But you can do it in a healthy way. You can balance it and make sure it keeps your blood sugar stable by incorporating a protein, incorporating plenty of vegetables, actually starting with vegetables first. So if you eat a big salad before you have a high carb meal like pasta or pizza, it will actually help keep your blood sugar pretty stable, and you won't get that huge blood sugar spike. But for people that want to eat Italian food that maybe have to follow like a gluten-free diet or an alternative diet, there are so many great brands. I actually I typically use Jovial Foods. They make a gluten-free pasta that just tastes delicious. And then if you wanted to do like a low carb Italian dish, you can use things like zucchini noodles. You can use like spaghetti squash, which I absolutely love, in a marinara sauce with some like meatballs. Like that to me is it tastes really good. It's not a typical Italian like pasta that you would have, but the flavor is still there. You can make your own sauce. And I just like, I love the flavors of Italian food. I actually always like make my sauce from scratch. I try to not buy it in a jar if I can. So I actually made my kids last night. I use like fresh local tomatoes and just put onion and garlic and basil and blended it all up. And it's so delicious. It's actually way simpler than people think. And so that's another way like you can incorporate more fresh foods into your diet.
I love that.
I
knew you would have the answer. I knew she would have the answer.
You did.
I had a feeling. I was kidding.
I love that so much. That's fabulous. Really is.
I'm going to shift gears really quick.
Okay.
This is an important thing. I heard somebody mention this the other day, and they were saying women who are trying to get pregnant normally saw pregnancy as 9 months, right, from when they conceive to when they give birth, but that actually there is potentially 6 months to even before that time that is super important, and they should be preparing through what they're eating and all those ways to be ready for that moment. Is there truth to that?
Absolutely. So if you're considering getting pregnant or you're thinking about it, it's always a good time to prepare your body. So 6 months before pregnancy, like you should definitely be taking a prenatal. And I would even say up to a year before considering pregnancy is to be taking a prenatal vitamin and making sure that your nutrition is rock solid. There's actually a lot of evidence too, though, that what your grandparents ate actually affects your genetic makeup of your child. So like all these things and what your mother ate, so those all affect the genetic makeup, and it's called epigenetics, how your genes express themselves. So it's actually as far dating as what your grandparents ate and what they did and what their lifestyle was and what stress they had in their life. So as much as you can take care of yourself, that is important. But if for number of reasons, definitely I would say a year to 6 months, you should really be prepping your body, making sure that you're doing the right things, you're taking care of your stress, you're sleeping, you're really taking care of your body.
That's so interesting because it's now, so the ancestral trauma and stress, you're saying that also is carried through.
Yes, it is.
Generational trauma, is that what you would call it?
Yeah, and it, like the way it's called epigenetics. It's really the way your genes express themselves. But what's cool about that is like you can really control the way your genes actually express themselves. So you have the ability through diet, through lifestyle, to turn on certain genes or turn them off. So even though maybe your grandparents weren't so great, this still carries on, right? And it can still affect your child. But if you do the right things from a lifestyle nutrition standpoint, you can really actually counter
See, that's the key. That's the key. Okay, so that's the whole magic of the thing. You got all this trauma going on, right? Like in my family, I'm a Jew, right? So everyone who in my life 200 years ago, they ran away from being killed. So they got on a boat and they came to America. I carried that stress with me. All their panic is now my panic. So I want to change it, right? So I've done the things that I can do, and I guess part of that is eating right. But I think that's exciting that people have an opportunity to, again, make a choice to customize how their genes are expressing themselves. We're talking about customize something as simple as mood or feeling. You're talking about really taking it to the next level and customizing actual gene expression.
It's really cool.
Pretty amazing.
It's amazing. And I actually do work with like certain genetic tests and stuff so that you can see like what genes that are the most impactful for your health and how to change your lifestyle, change your nutrition, change what supplements you're taking based on that information. It's an amazing test. I offer it through my practice, and it's like, it was life changing.
So somebody wants to get in touch with you. Somebody wants to start this process. What's the best way to get in touch with you? What's the best way to start this process?
So you can reach out to me. I am happy to share my email. It's Francesca@francescaalfano.com. You can reach out to me. I work one-on-one with clients, but I also just did launch a group program. And so that is all virtual, but you will get the component of 2 live coaching sessions with me in a group setting. And so within that course, there's about, it's based on the core pillars of my method, and you'll get all the videos that are pre-recorded. You can kind of go at it at your own pace. You can watch the videos. There's tons of educational resources in there. So that's good for somebody that wants to do it at their own time. But if you need some more guidance and you want to work with me one-on-one, I do that as well.
That is fantastic. That's
That is fantastic. Now, we made you a code that you can give your community, because I know that CBD, it can be such a part of what you do. For sleep, we have rest, for stress, calm, for anxiety. All of them are good for anxiety. But and obviously you love the happy, and then recovery for pain and inflammation. What was the code that we made for Francesca?
Oh, it was very complicated. It was Francesca 20. Francesca 20. So go to mindsetwellness.com, and then it's going to ask you for a code, and you put in Francesca 20, and boom, 20% off. It's going to be like it's going to be a fantastic thing. It's going to happen. And,
amazing. Thank you guys for that. I'm definitely going to share it in my community.
I assume you got to get the kids to sleep. So I appreciate your time. You really are. It's so glad to know that the future of the world and medicine and wellness is in good hands. So
yeah, no, so refreshing. You are like a refreshing person to talk to. I really enjoyed.
Thank you. I enjoyed our conversation so much, and I hope everyone took some helpful tips from what we chatted about.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.